watching somebody listen is really powerful at times, you know?
There was a way of telling the story in a one-shot that didn't make the one-shot a sort of front and center gimmick.
We needed a young actor that was fearless, actually, about what was in front of them.
Going through every single take and finding it and putting this jigsaw together.
There's no way he's done this. Look, he's had guns in his face and everything.
Long takes are good for very sort of character-driven pieces. It has to serve the story and it has to serve the performances from the actors. There's a fine line between a gimmick and a spectacle.
Hey! Jay! Let's go. Okay, son, you'll be okay. Excuse me, love. Excuse me. You were at our house, weren't you?
Yeah.
Can you tell me when we can see my son?
Not long, Mr. Miller, all right.
Before any actors get on set, Matt and I have done 6 months prep, working out the camera moves and where it's going to be at certain points. And so when the actors come in, you know, we build it up in layers so that everybody's on the same page. And that would take us a week. So we'd have 5 days of doing that, just me and the actors and Matt. And so you're constantly building it up. So it becomes this muscle memory for the actors. I mean, I've never done theatre, but I guess it's a similar process.
That's fine. Do you have any mates who are women?
No.
Like your dad, your mates are male?
Yeah, the other shrink asks more normal questions, you know that?
Okay.
You want to know what he asks?
I can't, no.
I'm just saying.
I can't know, Jamie. My conclusions have to be independent.
You have to really sort of decide who you want to focus on at any given moment and what that means for an audience. You want the audience to feel like they're part of it, but they shouldn't really be part of it. You know, should they be listening in? Should they be watching this? But you can't turn away because, you know, we're not going to let you turn away.
What was that? Hey? What the fuck was that?
In rehearsals, I would just feel it, you know, and I'd say to Matt, but Matt would always be there like roaming around and I'd be like, stay on Erin because she's really listening.
I've actually done all that. Kissing and touching.
Okay.
If you're not given that opportunity to look at them talk, you're going to really sit up and listen. Watching somebody listen is really powerful at times, you know. It's a dance. It's a dance, yeah.
I need you to sit down.
Okay. Let's get you over on this chair here, shall we, facing that camera on the wall, just to take some photos.
A one-shot episode. Maybe there's more ways of using this format to illustrate a story without it being about the camera. Boiling Point acted as a proof of concept in a way. It showed me that there was a way of telling the story in a one-shot that didn't make the one-shot a sort of front and center gimmick and doing something cool. And even with the slightly higher concept things that we did on Adolescence, it still hopefully always felt story-driven, and I think that was always the aim. I wanted us to be able to explore a larger world, and I thought that the only way of doing that really was to be smooth, effectively, and this sort of omnipotent sort of floating camera that connected so closely to each individual.
I know, but he's not saying something. I know there's more. You coming or not?
The technical maneuvers and sort of interesting technical feats throughout Adolescence. So none of them came about because I was like, it'd be really cool to like go on a drone or really cool to go through a window. All of it was either sometimes logistical, so sometimes it was genuinely we just needed to somehow get out of that window and follow them. Or, you know, something similar to like, you know, sometimes the camera would float over a table or over a counter, and generally it was always just because it was the best way to see the right performance at the right time. It just so happened that it would become an impossible shot for a moment and you sort of have the audience thinking, how did that happen?
You do not control what I do in my life. Get that in that fucking little head of yours.
The camera movement always based off of moments in the script already and sort of how we build from the script out. The primary focus was smooth, effectively, and this sort of omnipotent sort of floating camera that knows what the pacing is and who we need to be seeing at which moment in the dialogue.
All right, it better be inside. It better be good.
Even the drone, which is like the sort of most Larry kind of camera move you can imagine at the end of a one-shot episode, it came about because we wanted to bring in the crime scene in a way that made you realise both how close it was to the school and how small of a community it is, and therefore how everyone is affected. The best way of doing that was to get in the sky for a literal perspective, of the entire landscape.
I haven't done anything. I haven't.
Hey.
I've not done.
It's not the case that a casting director opens, IMDb and goes, yeah, it's these 5 people. That is a craft. There's a lot of time and effort and conversation and debate that goes into it. I think with a show like Adolescence, obviously Owen's performance was a standout, which then shone a light on the casting, which is unusual for so much attention to be on the casting of a TV show.
Are you telling everybody the truth?
I am.
Are you sure, Jamie?
I am.
So we started the search for Jamie very early on in the process, so a good few months before shoot. But we did know that we would find some of the other younger characters through that search. And we look at all the places you might find young people, so schools, youth groups, drama groups, sports groups, music groups, community groups, all kinds of things where young people might, or their families indeed, might hang out.
Oi! Ryan! What have you done?
Whenever you're casting young people, you have to keep an open mind because you rarely find someone who absolutely ticks all the boxes on the page. Phil and I would meet someone and be like, oh, they're so good, but they're just not quite right for this. So where else can we fit them in? It was decided sort of early on in that process, we're going to give them all a part, which is really rare.
Oh, what's that? Black pudding?
From the butchers and all.
It's very bad for me.
I know, but you like it very much.
Oh, I like you more, don't.
Yeah, only when I'm doing you a fry-up.
The fact that Stephen and Christine had this shorthand was really beautiful. I wanted them to feel very, very different. And then when you add Amelie into the mix, who just was able to navigate her performance around them so carefully. Okay, this is for me as brilliant as all the other bits that everybody's talking about, because she just did a really, very unassuming audition. And that was actually very effective.
Don't you even like me a bit? What did you think about me then? Decide, come on!
This was really useful.
Don't you go fucking telling anyone that, did it?
Hey,
don't you dare!
Whoa, come on.
Don't you go fucking get the fuck off me! Don't you dare!
Hey!
Don't you even like me a bit?
His quality on screen was fantastic. That was never in doubt. But we needed an actor, a young actor that could repeat, who was fearless actually about what was in front of them. And I think that's what everybody did for Owen. And that's why he was able to achieve that performance. And we could see that, okay, this young man can keep doing it. And that's what we were looking for. It highlights the craft of casting. And if coming out of Adolescence, it's made people think more about what the craft of casting is, then I'm really proud about that. And I'm really happy about that.
It's no better to be safe than sorry. I'm bleeding here.
Bravo Delta 50 to Bravo Delta 60. You ready to roll up?
Yeah, ready. We're not overwhelming the audience with sound, picking the moments that we really want to make the audience feel things. With the one shot, there's technically just a huge challenge of making sure that we're capturing those performances, making sure the production sound is the best it possibly can be on the day, because that's, at the heart of everything is the story and it's the dialogue.
Police! Get down on the floor!
What's going on? I've got 2 kids upstairs!
That whole first 15 minutes of episode 1 is this kind of emotional roller coaster of going from kind of very almost light-hearted in the opening.
Oh, God.
So are you?
I don't think apples are good for my stomach acid or something.
Why do you eat them then?
To this aggressive, chaotic raid.
Oh,
on, police! Suspect found! Show me your hands! Get your hands in the air! Get your hands in the fucking air so I can see them now!
Hey, my name is D.I. Bascom. I have a warrant to search your premises, sir. Where's your son?
To then getting into the van and moving inside Jamie's emotional headspace.
Come on.
Dad! Dad!
And then pulling back, having these ebbs and flows of sound to support the emotion and support the feel for that, thinking about the way that the camera's pointing. As soon as it pans, as soon as it starts to move, where in that kind of field of vision should the sound be?
Can't go back to class, you know you can't. Come on, Jade, darling, stay with me. Jade, you've got to stay with me.
Leave me alone, miss.
Please.
It was great being in the school as a location because I was there for 2 weeks, and by the end of it, you know how it sounds. And those walls were so thin, and you could hear doors slam and people walk from the other side of the school when nobody was there. It was using the EQ and the reverb, constantly automating it to make sound move and be shaped in a way that it would naturally.
Hey!
All the panning on top of that. So as soon as that camera starts swinging around, grabbing an element and moving it, and then grabbing the element below, and then grabbing the element below, and just building it slowly layer by layer. I mean, the big thing for Jules and I in the mix itself was making sure that the immersiveness of the mix translated to lots of different devices. We had flat screen TV with the full Dolby Atmos array, and then we also had our headphones plugged in and 2 different sets of headphones. 5 years ago, I don't think I ever checked anything on headphones, and now increasingly I do because I'm constantly seeing people everywhere, headphones on, noise cancelling, and they've got a tiny little screen and big headphones. So we spent a lot of time flicking between all these different sound systems, trying to find the best balance we could. As soon as I was there on set and saw it all together, I was like, I don't want anybody else to touch this. Just great experience of like going through every single take and finding it and putting this jigsaw together. Yeah, it's a wonderful challenge.
Not impossible. I'm not doing anything.